Calumet was originally settled in 1864 by a man named Edwin Hulbert. He was one of the earliest prominent mine owners in the area. He was a high-risk, high-reward person, and his board of investors did not like that, so they kicked him out, replaced him with an investor named Alexander Agassiz. He ended up bringing the area to its glory. The copper mining was, of course, the biggest industry. You'll have mine shafts dotted all around the Keweenaw, but the most of them were along the spine of the Keweenaw, where the Portage Volcanics deposited a lot of copper. There were hundreds of mining companies. The most profitable was the C&H Mining Company. They were the largest exporter of copper in the U.S. for over 20 years. The second biggest was Quincy, and they had the deepest mine shaft, the deepest copper mine in the world, at over 9,000 feet deep, at about 5,000 feet vertically. Smallest ones oftentimes are family owned, almost like homesteads just up here in the Keweenaw. So back then, Calumet had around 12,000 people living within its village borders, which is a lot for this small village. The entire township had around 30,000 people living in the area, so that's 30,000 people within walking distance of the theater. While the theater could only ever hold 1,200 people. It was the 1900s Times Square, if you will. There were a lot of churches, a lot of bars, and of course a lot of businesses and mines, so people were out on the town all day. So the village hall actually was originally built in 1886. It was a nice, beautiful building, originally made with Marquette brownstone because the sandstone quarries at the time were just opening up. It housed the village council, the clerk, fire department, police department, had a jailhouse even. And the second floor, the entire second floor, was the opera house. So that was the original Calumet Theater, you could say. In late 1898 or early 1899, a certain council member named Michael Kemp made a bold statement of, "This is not a Klondike town, we need a proper opera house." And that kind of rallied all the people of Calumet and said, we need more entertainment in this town, something to actually do on the weekends or when the miners are off for work in the evenings. So they set about to do design bids for 5 architectural firms in the area for a brand new opera house. And the winner was Charles Shan, who also designed the fire hall across the street. They would appreciate the likes of the great people that have walked and graced our stage, not the least of which is people like John Philip Sousa. He was the director for the United States Marine Corps marching band, of the President's own Marine Band. And he actually appeared here in 1902, 1906, and 1912. Follow up with Madame Helena Modjeska, who is a Polish actress and leading Shakespearean actress of the American stage. She also appeared here 3 times, and her last ever show was on our stage on November 11th of 1905. We had Sarah Bernhardt. She was Parisian. She didn't speak a word of English, only French, but her interpreter said that she loved the theater, loved the amenities that it had, like hot and cold running water, indoor bathrooms, and electricity, a lot of which even Chicago or Broadway theaters didn't have at the time. Then there's people like Richard Mansfield, who was known as the original Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. He was famous at the time when Jack the Ripper was going around London, and coincidentally he himself also lived in London. So after a performance of Jekyll and Hyde, a frightened theatergoer wrote to the police accusing Mansfield of being Jack the Ripper because he could not believe that such an actor could make so convincing a transformation from a gentleman to a mad killer without himself being homicidal.